What I like about the course, I think once you get into the later years, after you've got past the introductory modules, you've got a real freedom to choose the courses that you want. So my interest lies with international relations, so I can choose courses on Russia, I can choose courses on European international relations, things like that. But if depending on where your depending on where your interest lies in being theory, or political science, there's really a wide range of options you can choose from. Well, in being a final year student, I'm doing my dissertation, and I've had a lot of freedom to choose the topic that I want to study. So I'm looking at secessionist movements in liberal democracies, and it's interesting because it's basically it means that you have to utilize all of the skills that you've been developing over the past 2 or 3 years at university, and you can really look into something that you've become interested in the field of politics over the past 2 years. And particularly in 3 weeks now, we've got a conference coming up where we're going to have to present our dissertation topic. So that's utilizing another skill is obviously very useful in later life. So the styles you get at university are much, much different than what you get at school. Rather than, you still have the teacher or the lecturer at the front delivering the seminars. There's no real teacher-student interaction while you're in the lecture. That's just there for them to give the course content on the course. In the seminar, that's where the real discussion happens, and that's where you have to do your academic reading in order to foster a good discussion within the seminar room, and I enjoy it a lot. So I did my year abroad in Japan at Okayama University, which is a university in the south of Japan. How was my year abroad? Probably the only way I can describe it is different. I mean, obviously, it's a fantastic experience, me being somebody from a small village in the Welsh Valleys, going to a different country and challenging myself to live in an environment where barely anybody speaks English. It built me up so much as an individual and as a person, and it was just such a good experience. So, in an academic sense, I think my time in Japan really helped me get a better view on what politics was really like in Japan. I mean, we can study politics in Japan from sunrise till sunset here, but we can't really get a good perspective unless you actually go there and you see politics in action in Japan. So, for example, my research interest being separatism, I was able to go to Okinawa, see what things were like in Okinawa, see why people there felt they needed to break away from Japan, and it was so beneficial to get there and actually to see what was happening rather than just learn about it. So after graduating, I think a lot of people going into this university course were thinking, a politics degree, I can go on and rule the world. But really, I think being here for being in Kent for 3 years, being in Japan for 4 years, 1 year, it really opens your perspective on what you're able to do with this degree. So at the moment, I'm looking to get an internship in the United Nations. That way, I'm hoping just to get onto the international scene to gain skills in diplomacy and hopefully then move into the Foreign Office where I can help support British interests abroad.